You think he has the potential to be a successful and a good president?
I hope, because I'm not rooting against him. If you're rooting against the president, you are rooting against the nation. And I'm not ever going to be where I want a president to fail. So country first. I know it's become maybe like a cliche, but it happens to be true. And after you survived an assassination, you literally were shot in your head, and had the presence of mind to respond. Fight. I mean, that's a political talent. It's undeniable. And also, I never believed that it was about fascism. And for me, that made it difficult for
Kamala Harris said that he was a fascist.
Yeah, well, it's like that's her prerogative. I mean, but it's not a word that I would use, because you put a lot of Democrats, especially in my state, that I know and I happen to love people that are going to vote for Trump, and they are not fascists. And also fascism, that's not a word that regular people, use. That, I think people are going to decide who is the candidate that's going to protect and project, my version of the American way of life. And that's what happened.
I'm gonna lie to you guys. I love how they blew this up. How it sent shockwaves. Shocked a lot of folks. Yeah. A lot, and I mean a lot of folks. But oh John Fetterman still got that hoodie on, don't he? But I'm glad he did an amazing recovery from his stroke and his health, man. Wishing him nothing but the best. And hey, we see a lot of him now speaking sense, but he's one of those ones that showed a lot of love, and even one of the first to show love to President Trump, even on Truth Social, But shouldn't be such a big one for a lot of people, because again, hey, Pennsylvania, baby. But y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And they blew this bad boy up on Fox, so let's check it out.
Trump says he will take on the gender agenda on day one.
With the stroke of my pen on day one, we're going to stop the transgender lunacy. Under the Trump administration, it will be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Mike Huckabee is a nominee for U.S. Ambassador to Israel and a former Arkansas governor, and he joins us now. Governor, good morning to you. He's going to take this fight head on in the form of an executive order. He says, I will sign executive orders to end child sexual mutilation, get transgender out of the military and out of our elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. Music to the ears of many, but some also expect legal challenges. What do you think?
Well, I think it's pretty evident that he's going to take that playbook that says follow the science. There are two genders. Biologically, that's what we have. Look, I feel for people who have gender dysphoria. I think that there's a great need, especially among younger people, to help them, get them counseling, get them some understanding. But it's one thing for an adult to say, I want to be a different gender than I was assigned at birth. That's an adult decision. But we don't let kids get tattoos. We don't let them drive. We don't let them buy booze or tobacco. There are a lot of things we don't let children do because they're not mature enough to make the decision. When anyone thinks that a child is mature enough to make the decision to mutilate their bodies, to go through a chemical castration, something that is irreversible and that will leave them with lifelong medical consequences, that is insanity. And I'm so grateful the president just had the courage to stand up and say, we're not going to keep playing this game. We're just not. It's one of the things I think that a lot of Americans woke up on Election Day and said, we try to be nice, we're trying to be considerate and thoughtful, but some things we just have to say, no, that's crazy. And that was crazy to say that kids who couldn't do certain things that were adult activities could make such decisions.
Those voters also said, stop calling us fascists, because we're not. John Fetterman condemning his party for the way that they do talk about President Trump and his supporters. Watch.
It's not a word that I would use, because you put a lot of Democrats, especially in my state, that I know and I happen to love people that are going to vote for Trump, and they are not fascists. And also fascism, that's not a word that regular people, use.
he nails it. But why do so many Democrats don't think like Fetterman? Why do they not think like Fetterman and say, okay, we're going to attack the people that are our mothers, our fathers, our brothers, our sisters, our friends, and call them fascists for voting for somebody? It seems like a horrible way to get elected, as November 5th showed.
Yeah, I just think John Fetterman has proven himself to be the most rational Democrat in the entire United States Senate. I want to meet him, and during the confirmation process, I hope I get a chance to visit with him, because I want to say to his face in person that I apologize for having misjudged him during the election when he beat Dr. Oz a few years back. I thought, this guy's not together. But he is together. And when I listen to him, I think he's making more sense than all of the Democrats and most of the Republicans. I just find him refreshing. He's so darn transparent. And his comments there were spot on. Good for him. And I owe him a face-to-face apology for misjudging him. And I look forward to making it.
Well, that would be another reach across the aisle moment that I'm sure he would appreciate. So Cardinal Dolan was on with Maria Bartiromo yesterday. It was a great interview. And he talked about how he believes there's a newfound appreciation for faith in this country and how Donald Trump has tapped into that. Listen here.
And there seems to be a newfound appreciation for the role of faith, especially in our country. Okay, I think President Trump tapped into that. I think the assassination attempts kind of renewed in him, oh my, there's something beyond me that I think is watching over me and has got a task for me. And what he expresses personally seems to be expressed more and more throughout the world.
So with the Christmas season in mind, what do you think about that?
Well, you don't have to be Catholic to love Cardinal Dolan. He's just a remarkable man, and I think he's right. We're seeing a real revival of faith, and it's across the board. It's not just evangelicals, Catholics, it's across the board, where people are beginning to realize that the world doesn't make a lot of sense unless we believe in God. And what a perfect time during this Christmas season. We're seeing it in the films that are really becoming blockbusters. The best Christmas pageant ever that the director of The Chosen, Dallas Jenkins, has put together. It's one of the most wonderful Christmas films for the family that's come along in decades. And it's a faith-based film, but it's not preachy. That's what I find refreshing. What we're seeing is a resurgence of the spiritual nature of knowing and believing in God, rather than just something that is divisive. And I find it just so encouraging. I think it shows that we may be on the cusp of what I hope is a real spiritual revival in this nation.
We will see. Governor Huckabee.
Amen, man. We're going to end it off with some Christmas spirit, some love, man. That's how we're going to end it off, you guys. Let me know what y'all think of this. Merry Christmas to you guys. Happy New Year's. Bless you all and your families. And I will catch you beautiful people in the next one. Peace and love, y'all.